Now, Ethel, are we ready?
If you insist, Walter.
Victor, it's Victor.
Yes, Victor.
Good night, Paul. Shama shama, Corey.
Shama, shama!
Now, if anyone is looking for us within the next week, we'll be at the Nacional Hotel in Mexico City, room 703. Let's go, Ethel.
Does he mean by that? I don't know, but I'm dying to find out. Will you call me in the morning? Yes, at 6 a.m. Well, how about that, Mr. This is going to be a fiasco tonight. He's taking her all the way out to New Jersey at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now that's what I call the complete gentleman. He hasn't even given a thought as to how he's going to get home. Hey, maybe he'll sleep over. Paul, do you think he'll... Oh, God! Not my mother! Then again, anything can happen with the Sheik of Budapest. Boy, what a night. Hey, I got a plan! Let's take the bottle of scotch downstairs and ring all the bells and yell, "Police!" Just to see who comes out of whose apartments. What's the matter, Paul? Don't you feel well?
What a rotten thing to do! To your own mother!
What?
Do you have any idea how she felt just now? Do you know what kind of night this was for her?
It's not over yet.
You didn't see her sitting here 2 minutes ago. You were upstairs with that Hungarian Duncan Hines. Well, she was miserable.
She never said a thing to me.
No, she's still going to sport. Boy, oh boy. Dragging a woman like that all the way out to the middle of the harbor for a bowl of sheep dip?
It was great bean soup, and at least she tasted it. She didn't jab at it with her knife, throwing cute little epigrams like, "Ho, ho, ho, I think there's someone in there."
That's right, that's right. At least I was honest about it. You had 2 bulls because you were showing up for Al Capone at the next table.
What are you so angry about, Paul?
I just told you. I felt terrible for your mother.
Why? Where is she at this very minute? Alone with probably the most attractive man she's ever met? You can't tell me that doesn't beat the hell out of hair curlers and the Late Late Show.
Oh, I can just hear it now. What sparkling conversation. He's probably telling her about a chicken cacciatore that he once cooked for the Dalai Lama of Tibet, and she's sitting there shoving pink pills in her mouth.
You never can tell what people talk about when they're alone.
I don't understand you could be so unconcerned about this, Corey.
I'm concerned. I'm bloody concerned. Do you think I'm going to get one wink of sleep until that phone rings in the morning? I'm scared to death for my mother. But I'm grateful that there's finally an opportunity for something to be scared about. What I'm really concerned about is you.
Me?
I'm beginning to wonder if you're even capable of having a good time.
Why? Because I like to wear my gloves in the winter?
No, because there isn't the least bit of adventure in you. Do you know what you are?
What?
You're a watcher. There are watchers in this world, and there are doers. And the watchers sit around watching. The doers, wait for it, do. Well, tonight, you watched, and I did.
Yeah? Well, it was a lot harder to watch what you did than it was for you to do what I was watching.
You couldn't even let your hair down for 1 minute. You couldn't even relax for this one night. Boy, Paul, sometimes you act like
What? A stuffed shirt?
I didn't say that.
That's what you're implying.
That's what you're anticipating. I didn't say you're a stuffed shirt, but you are incredibly
dignified.
All right, the other night at Delfino's, you were drunk, right?
Right, I was wasted.
There you go. I didn't know until you told me in the morning. Boy, Paul, you're a funny drunk. You just sat there looking unhappy and watching your coat.
I was watching my coat because I saw someone else watching my coat. Look, I'll get drunk for you sometime. I'll show you a slob, make your hair stand on end.
That isn't necessary.
Do you know PJ Clark's last New Year's Eve, I punched an old woman? Don't tell me about drunks.
All right, Paul.
What else? When else was I proper and dignified?
Always! You're always dressed right. You always look right. You always say the right things. You're very close to being perfect.
That's a rotten thing to say!
I've never seen you without a jacket. I always feel like such a slob compared to you. Before we were married, I could have sworn you slept in a tie.
No, just for very formal sleeps.
You can't even walk into a candy store and ask the lady for a Tootsie Roll. You got to walk up to the counter and point at it and say, I'll have one of those things in the brown and white wrappers.
That's ridiculous.
And you're not! That's just the trouble! Like Thursday night, you wouldn't walk barefoot with me in Washington Square Park. Why not?
Very simple answer. It was 17 degrees.
Exactly! It's very sensible and logical, except it isn't any fun!
You know, maybe I am too proper and dignified for you. Maybe it would be better off with someone more colorful and flamboyant, like the Greek.
Well, he'd be a lot more laughs than a stuffed shark!
Oh, I thought you said I wasn't.
Well, you are now!
I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to listen.
Where are you going?
To sleep.
Now? How can you sleep now?
I'm going to close my eyes and count Kenichis. Good night.
You can't go to sleep now! We're having a fight!
You have to fight, and when you're through, turn off the lights.
Oh, you can even control your emotions! That gets me insane!
I'm just as upset as you are, Corey. But when I get hungry, I eat. When I get tired, I sleep. You eat and sleep too. Don't deny it. I've seen you.
Not in the middle of a crisis!
What crisis? We're just yelling a little.
You don't consider this a crisis? Our whole marriage hangs in the balance!
It does? When did that happen?
Just now! It's suddenly very clear to me that you and I have absolutely nothing in common!
Why? Because I walk barefoot in the park in winter? You haven't got a case. Adultery, yes. Cold feet, no.
Don't oversimplify this. I'm angry. Can't you see that?
Corey, it's 2:15 in the morning. I can get to sleep in about half an hour. I can get about 5 hours of sleep. I'll call you from court tomorrow, and we can fight over the phone.
You will not go to sleep. You will stay here and fight to save our marriage.
If this marriage hinges on bringing fish balls and poop pie, then it's not worth saving. I'm now going to crawl into our little, tiny, single bed. If you care to join me, we'll be slipping from left to right tonight.
You won't discuss it. You're afraid to discuss it. I married a coward.
Corey, we bring a pail in. The blood is dripping.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you. I really, really hate you.
Corey, there's one thing I learned in court. Be careful when you're tired and angry. You may say something you will soon regret. I'm not tired and angry.
And a coward.
And now I'm not saying something I will soon regret. You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe rushing this marriage a little too fast. Maybe love isn't enough. Maybe people should have to get more than a blood test. Maybe you should check for common sense, understanding, and emotional maturity!